Do push-ups really build muscle, or are you wasting your time? This question keeps thousands of people stuck between wanting to train at home and thinking they need a gym membership to see real results. The answer matters because if push-ups work, you can save hundreds of dollars and hours every year. But if they don't, you're spending months doing an exercise that won't change your body and you still look the same after years of hard training. But before we can answer if push-ups really build muscle, you need to understand what makes any muscle grow in the first place. Muscle growth happens through something called mechanical tension. Think of it like this. When you lift something heavy or push against resistance, your muscle fibers experience tension. That tension is literally your muscles working hard to move or hold a weight. The more tension you create and the longer you create it, the more your muscles respond by growing bigger and stronger. For example, there's an old story about a Greek wrestler named Milo who understood this perfectly. He wanted to get stronger, so he started carrying a newborn calf on his shoulders every single day. As the calf grew into a full-grown bull over 4 years, Milo's muscles had to adapt to the increasing weight. By the end, he was carrying a massive bull and his strength was legendary. That's progressive overload. You start with what you can handle and you gradually make it harder as your body adapts. So now that we know how our muscles work, we can answer the question: do push-ups build muscle? The answer is yes, but how many should you do? Remember what we talked about earlier. You can't just do the same push-ups forever. If you can already do 20 push-ups easily, doing 20 push-ups every day won't build more muscle. So push-ups work, but how many should you actually do to build muscle? This is where most advice gets it wrong. You'll hear people say, do 100 push-ups every day after waking up, or do as many as you can whenever you feel like it. But research gives us a much better answer based on weekly training volume. Training volume means the total number of challenging sets you do per muscle group each week. Multiple studies have found that you need between 10 and 20 sets per muscle per week for optimal muscle growth. Below 10 sets, you'll see some results, but not as much as you could. Above 20 sets, you get diminishing returns, meaning the extra work doesn't give you much more muscle growth. Since push-ups work your chest, shoulders, and triceps, you want to aim for 10 to 20 sets of push-ups per week total. Here's what that looks like in practice. If you train 3 times per week, you could do 3 to 7 sets each workout. If you train 4 times per week, you could do 3 to 5 sets each workout. The exact number depends on how many reps you can do and how close to failure you push each set. A set should be challenging, meaning you're working hard and getting close to the point where you can't do any more reps with good form. If you can easily do 20 push-ups, then a set of 10 isn't challenging enough. You need to either do more reps per set or make the push-up harder so that 8 to 15 reps feels difficult. The most important thing is progressive overload. Every week, try to do just a little bit more than last week. Maybe you get 1 more rep in your first set. Maybe you add 1 more set to your workout. Maybe you slow down the tempo to make it harder. As long as you're progressing somehow, your muscles will keep adapting and growing. One more thing to remember. You don't need to do push-ups every single day. In fact, training each muscle group 2 to 4 times per week works better than training it every day. Your muscles grow during rest, not during the workout itself. So spreading your 10 to 20 sets across 3 or 4 workouts with rest days in between gives your body time to recover and grow. Push-ups absolutely build muscle when you do them right. You need to create mechanical tension through challenging sets, apply progressive overload by making it harder over time, and hit 10 to 20 total sets per week for your chest and triceps. Do that consistently and you'll see real muscle growth without ever stepping foot in a gym. Thanks for listening. See you in the next one.